What's happening? Hopefully everybody's doing good. Trying to move the camera. Oh, I guess that'll work. Yeah, hopefully everybody's doing good out there. Let me try and get the feed up here so I can see y'all's comments. There you go. I'll switch that to that. And then I can see the comments. Sick. All right. So, SXIII, we've done the rear end mostly, except for the lower control arms, the rear toe plate, and then the suspension, and then obviously the whole front end's arms will happen next. One viewer, yoo-hoo! There we go, I'll grab this for reference. All right, I guess I need to make a whole bunch of turnbuckles and stuff. I guess I'll do the rear camber arms, get that out of the way. Yeah, over here. Hey, good morning, everybody. Move this guy out the way. So, here's my camber arms, and my toe, and my servo to slide rack mount. Camber, right, and then toe, super short babies, and then this big set screw would be to link the servo to the slide rack. So they give you this tree here. Yo, Tim. Good morning or good evening to you. But yeah, here's your little tree of goodies. What's up, Don? So I'm just gonna do these real quick. It's usually these guys here for rear camber. I'll do a full cheater mode on how to do it. This is the sneaky way. Floating in the pool, hell yeah. I wish. But the pool water here in BC is cold, man. I can't get used to the water temperature here. I'm used to the water, like Florida's water, super hot. Because we have, well, where I stayed, you would have the Atlantic Ocean and the Indian Ocean. So it's, you know, you kind of get to choose if you want to be in cold water or in warm water. And obviously the same with the fish, right? So if you want to catch warm water fish, you would go Indian Ocean, and then Atlantic Ocean for cold. So that's my cheat way. I put this guy in the mouth. I have this little tool that receives the ball end, and you just buzzer in. Cheater way. Yeah. So just gotta do these. These are obviously boring to watch, but I do apologize. I have to do this. Just one of them things. Man, 92 year round. Whew. I will not say no to that. Just wind this guy in real quick. I don't know if it's genius or stupid. Oh, hey. Jeddah, I hope, is the right pronunciation. Jeddah. But yeah, Saudi Arabia, man. Woo. That's one place I'd love to come drift the RC car at for sure. Definitely would be a dream. Anyhow, so there's my one camber link. She's done. Yeah, no, you know I'm joking. Let me just make it up. Woo! Gotta hold on to that bad boy. Nope, wrong way. Yeah. Yeah, if you do that, just be careful. You don't wind it so deep that it goes through the, the cup. I've done that before. Yeah, and then this end, I obviously don't want to pinch this into the drill's mouth or the chuck. So I just hold it with that little tool that I have, and then I throw this guy through here and then widen it in. Yeah, this one is made by, I think, Team Associated is this one, and then the hoodie one obviously also works. That's made by Hoodie. It's got two different ends to it. Pretty cool. Now they got to just make a hand driver with that end on it, so you can just right, that kind of thing. That would be nice. Here, I'll use the Hoodie one. And then you do that. And then these bits are made by MIP, and it fits any type of driver end or drill, whatever you want to use. Yeah. My normal hand or electric driver, she's dead. She died on me. So I don't know if I should fix it or just buy another one. I think it was like 30 Canadian dollars. Super cheap. Yeah. Okay, so there's my two arms for the back. Now, here's a pretty cool tool if I can find the sucker. Keyword, if I can find it. Anyway, I guess not. So I won't be showing you. But it's just a tool that you can put the ball onto the ball end, or the ball cup to the ball, and you can just pinch it and pops it in. But any sharp nose pliers or whatever you guys call these, needle nose, any one of them works. Yeah. And I guess I never put the ball ends on the camber. I never did that. Crazy. Oh. So I'll throw that in there. This factory location, I don't really mess with the roll center too much, except for if I'm doing something really different with it. If it's all crazy custom stuff like this, you know, stuff from another company to another company, then sometimes the roll center is not correct. So I'd like to correct that. And roll center, what I'm talking about is where the outside pivot point to the inside pivot point. If this one's here a little lower than what it should be, then obviously you want to raise this pivot up, right? Or down. or whatever works. Yeah, the hoodie one is awesome. Yeah, nothing from hoodie is cheap because it's from Scandinavia, right? So it's obviously over-engineered, and the materials they are using are absolutely ridiculous grade of materials that they use. Yeah. So I throw these guys on. I simply just hold it in place here and then grab the back and the front of the plastic and then just squeeze onto it so it pops it on. And there she is. Right? Yeah. So that's the camber. Then I need to do the toe. I need to make the toe links. That is, I guess I skipped a whole bunch of that stuff. Yeah, it's quite a ways back. Yeah. Oops. Now, on this little tree, we'll obviously, if you look at this tree here, we've taken the bottom two. Now we're taking this little baby one here, right here, and then these four here. I used to use these guys quite a bit on just the Y2E chassis, so I can have even more throw without it over-centering the pivot points. It's a big no-no on a drift car, or any car for that matter. If that front to middle pivot points over-center one another, no good. No good at all. Okay, so I won that one. The guy that I want in here, I want it till it stops. And then I'll wind this one until I get the length. I'm just doing the lengths the same as what it says in the book. Luckily, the manual has the pictures where you can put this over the picture, and that's exactly the length. Well, not if you use a linear caliper. It's not exact, but it's close. Yeah, you can wind it out a little bit. There you go. That's for the servo horn to the slide rack. And then I'll do the same. Oh. Man. That was pretty tight. Let's use this one. Yeah. I've met Hurt and Mika Diaz from Hoonigans. That's right. Now they've been sliding at Super G. I'm pretty good friends with Hurt. I've known him before they started Hoonigans. Yeah, good people. Yeah, I think they now drive different chassis. Yeah, it's a very small world if you think about it. How am I doing? I can't complain, man. How about I'm doing what I want to be doing? Right? Oh man, I threw that in way too much. I'm the type of guy that would give away everything. Money and stuff doesn't have any significant value to me. Especially money. I don't give a fuck for money. I never have and I never will care about it. It's not what I want. I just want to have fun and do what I want. So if it means closing the shop or whatever, then I will be doing it. Oh man. I definitely turned this bad boy in way too much. Oh, now you're tightening it. Reverse thread, man. Cool. That should be it now. And yes, it is. So, there you go. That one's done. So don't thread it in deep afro. I think that's good. Yeah, true. Can't wait to head to the track tomorrow and get back at it. Oh yeah. What pro drift team did I work for? I worked with a guy called Otto Graven in Formula Drift. And then I worked with Garage Boso, Ross Petty. Yeah. And I've done some stuff with other companies that are top secret. How about that? There you go. Those are all done. The boring stuff's out of the way. For now. Man, my nose is itchy. Woo. So now I gotta pop on the bowl. I don't really have a thought on cars and stuff. It's usually how you set it up. That's the most important part, I think. It doesn't matter what gun you shoot, it's how you shoot your gun. It's same with a sword, same with drifting, same with everything. It's how you're using it and is it set up for what you need it to be set up for. Right? That's the most important part for sure. Cool. Now I'm going to throw the tow rods on here. Yep. Pop it on. That one's gone. I used to drive strictly my own custom chassis, and it was not just one chassis, it was a whole bunch of different things that I liked from different chassis, and I threw it together. Would you ever go back to the pro drift circuit? It would have to be really, really good money under my conditions kind of thing. But as soon as there's money involved, people change. So a lot of people that I've worked with in the past were very money hungry, and that's purely what they did it for, is to make money, and that's never a good recipe. Because now you forget why you started doing this. Let's say like skateboarding. Skateboarding, obviously you need stuff to progress and so on. But beyond that, a lot of people become super money hungry, and it changes their focus and the love for why they even started it. You know, like all of a sudden now every single kid that you know wants to be a pro, you know, and wants to be sponsored by this company because that's the latest and greatest thing. Well, that's not skating, you know. So, yes and no. I mean, the only company I'm working with now is a Japanese company. They drive Formula Drift and D1 Grand Prix in Japan, obviously. And I work with those guys because, not to be funny, man, they're very humble. I don't know any Japanese person ever to be money hungry, you know. They want to be successful, but through honor, not money. Yeah. What bag do I need? Bag 7. So we're obviously going to do the A-arms. The A-arms for up here, and then the lower control arm here, and then we'll move to the back and obviously do the same deal. So we're into bag 7 here. Wow. So let's see. Only one little bag with bolts. That's always nice. Oh, bolts and screws and ball ends and. Your lower control arms, your upper A arm for the front, right? Your pins with the little balls here to do the bottom. I am building the SXIII black and gold edition. Yeah, a custom build for a customer in Portland, Oregon. So pretty cool. He wanted an Afro kit, so that's what he'll receive. Yeah. Thanks, Don. I appreciate you, bud. If this fucking travel ban bullshit would go away, I can start traveling around and visiting people and hanging out and, you know, drive with you so you can learn from me. Yeah. BJTT Gaming Set. I'm doing great, BJ. What's the price of a drift car build to be built? The best thing is just to go to afro.rc.ca. That's my website. All the pricing's there. And then you can obviously communicate through that and tell me exactly, you know, if you want a custom body, what kind of custom body, and so on. And then I can quote you a price and send you an invoice, and we can go from there. But enough with the business. Back to the building. So I'm doing these, and then off this little baby tree here, we take 2 of the long ones, right? Why do I have that? Okay. So now I'm gonna do these camber arms or A arms, or it's pretty much the top A arm is, you can set the caster with it by moving it forward into the chassis or back into the chassis, and in the same breath you can shorten and extend the link for camber. So caster camber is one thing up top on this one. So it's pretty cool. One will affect the other, of course. One will affect the other. If you do, toe out, then it messes with camber. If you're doing camber, it messes with toe, and caster messes with toe and camber. It's all one thing on these cars, or on any car for that matter. Yeah. Hey, damn. So Damn RC says, hey, Afro King. I don't know about that. What do you think about aluminum swing arms? Is it worth investing? Not small money. Yeah, of course, it's going to be expensive, and I don't think it's worth it, man. I don't think it's worth it at all. It's a lot of money for adding more weight, right? And the thing with aluminum, if let's say you do hit something super hard, they will bend, and if aluminum bends, it doesn't bend back. It has no elasticity to it. It's a Dunsky. So no on the aluminum. Still a little long. Okay, almost done with this one. Yeah, perfect. So there's one A-arm assembly. Some kind of futuristic gun. Okay, the other one I'll do nice and quick, because now I know the exact distance that I need to wind in these guys, right? Yeah, that's good. Just lay down there. The noise in the background right now, guys, is my compressor for my airbrush. Yeah, I guess it's an easier adjustment, but no, I still don't use them. You don't need to buy them. It's not gonna improve your driving at all. And you're moving weight to the wrong spot, if you want to call it that. You're moving weight to something that's unsprung, and I mean, this whole chassis is meant to be a shifting movement weight kind of thing. So putting a ton of weight on the wheels, not quite what we need. Acceleration, rotating mass, and so on. Yeah, I don't think it's worth it. Yeah. So they're doing work outside here. So now you obviously have this pin. It slides into these little holes right here. You can see them. It slides all the way in here, and then there's a mini spacer. These spacers is how you would space your arm forward or back. So one on each side, or two on one side, or two on the other side. And that's how you would change your caster in the front end. Man, annoying. Wow. Let me just grab something real quick. I'll be back in a second. If I can get out of this chair. All right. So, with the top A arm, I'll follow you guys down here. Yeah, I miss him more every day. We used to hang out and talk a lot of poop every day, man. But hey, whatever. So, you obviously push the pin into the top of the A-arm. I'll try and turn it so you can see it better. If you look over here, that's the A-arm and the pin right there. So I push it, and then I put the two spacers on. Put the two spacers on the back end of your A-arm. So you've moved this arm all the way forward, and on the bottom one you'll move it all the way back so it's in line with one another. Okay, move up. And take the other spacer. Not that easy. So I usually take the sharp nose or the whatever you want to call these, and I'll slide it in there and then push the pin through it and into the obviously the receiving hole that it's supposed to go into. It's nice and tight, so when it's in there, it's in there. There she goes. So that's it right there, right? It's flush. There's your arm. You want it to be super sloppy and loose, right? So it can move freely. And then in the front here, there's a little screw. That's a 1/5 that you screw it in here, and it holds that pin in place. Right? You don't have to tighten it super tight, just like snug it down. There you go. There's one side. I'll do the other side real quick. Get out of the way, glasses. Yep, you guys can see that part there. So Mr. A-arm here. And obviously I'm gonna slide the pin in here first. And then hold your arm, put it on the pin, Slide it till a little bit of it comes out. Just enough so it can receive that little shim. And then hold the shim, put it on the shaft. There you go, there's one of them. And then obviously the other one. Oh, come on, you slippery sucker. And there she goes. And I usually take the back end of the knife and I just push it till it's level with that face where that little baby screw goes into. And then we'll throw that sucker on. And just tighten it down a little bit. And there you go. There's the top. But yeah, there's the two top A-arms and the toe that goes onto the knuckle, or the carrier if you want to call it that. All right, that's the front. Let's see. Now we do the lower control. That's it. We're pretty much doing the whole front end real quick. That's it. So lower, take that off, take that baby off, take that spacers off that tree. All right. And throw the tree somewhere. Alrighty. I might as well turn it towards myself so I can see what I'm doing. Now you have these little carriers. So you'll see it's got numbers on it, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it shows you the little dot, right? So what that means is obviously neutral, right? And then a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, right? And as you change that, let's say I put these wide ones in the front and I put the opposites in the rear, that'll give it a ton of toe in or toe out, depending on where you put these little holes. Pretty smart. That's a racing thing for sure. That comes from racing. So they want number 5 to the inside of the chassis. And then, obviously on the bottom of the front, we're not going to have toe, right? So we're running 5 on the inside and the 5 to the front side. So they give you 2 of these little tree things. So here we go. And then obviously we want number 5 here and here. So for some reason, they want the factory setting where the number 5 hole is towards the inside of the chassis instead of pushing it outwards. So you can run it in, or if you want the front end super wide, you can run it out. How about that? But there's other ways to do that too. But I'll stick to the manual because it's so simple and it works. That way, it's a easier drivable vehicle where I do it that way. Otherwise, if you're not experienced, it's going to drive so crazy that it's going to take you a longer time to get used to driving this chassis. So I'll just do it factory, be a good boy, make it easy. But yeah, the more advanced you get, the more you start playing with width on the front and the rear, and obviously depending on track and right? So that's all I do. I put the little guy in the receiving mouth. I'll show you now. I hover it up there and then I squeeze it in with the pliers. you go. So now, you can see them, depending on the light, of course, but you can see them sitting right over here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Man. Anyway, I hope you guys can see that. That's obviously the inside of the chassis toe plate. And then we'll do the front end of that toe plate. And if you look, you can see there's a little bit of a thinner section to the back and a wide open to the front. That obviously points towards each other. So let's do that real quick. I'll just throw these in here. Oh, it'll be nice. It's been a punk. There she goes. Man, I haven't read the comments in a while. I got them on mine, damn. But they all come in a separate kit and get expensive. Hell yeah. I like the trail course. Yeah. Your passion and love for RC makes my day. Thanks for oh my God, sorry. Before I suck at reading, man. Thanks for doing what you do. I do appreciate you, Bo. Yeah, and obviously you serving your country as you did. I appreciate that too. Well, fuck, I appreciate everybody on here, so it doesn't really matter. But before was good shit. Yeah, I'm at the point where I think I'm just gonna fucking employ someone in my shop and then just do these videos with you guys and make videos of the cars driving and on different surfaces and what I would change and. So yeah, there it goes. There's those guys in place. You can see that's what they look on the back end. Yeah, that's obviously your front toe plate, and then your 1 millimeter shim to raise it off the deck to obviously give it more droop. Right? So I usually cut these little sprue marks off. That's just from the tree that it came off, right? That's the casting. So there's your arm. Now what we'll do is we will assemble this little guy. This dude here goes into the bottom of the A-arm or the mouth. You can adjust that distance, and there's a set screw that sits here that grabs a hold of this. And it's rad because as soon as you clip something really hard, it'll move instead of snapping everything off. And it's hyper adjustable, right? It's quicker to move the bottom arm for camber than the top. And if you move your bottom arm for more camber, it obviously widens up the front end, which is a good thing on a drift car. It's almost like a Formula One car. You want the front end to be in charge of the chassis, pretty much. Yeah. So I'll lightly tighten that because obviously I gotta adjust what I need to be doing here. So I'll just tighten that till it touches it and then try and get that off. Now, these guys that's left on that tree, that would go on the bottom. Okay, so I'll wind this bad mamma jamma on here. Jordan is doing amazing. I was hanging out with him yesterday We went to a mountain bike park, like a pro park, with huge ass jumps, and we were jumping. I have a horse that I jump, and he was jumping his Slash. So no, he's doing amazing. He's part of the Coast Guard. Yeah, he's the shit. I think that's the guy that probably will be employed here soon, so he can do the dealing with the public, and I'll be doing the custom work and repairs and that kind of stuff. Yeah, but it's still gotta figure it out. So there you go. There's that bad boy. Yeah. So that will be the one side. I gotta make this other one real quick. Yeah, Jordan is he got hurt, man. He got hurt on a boat, and he's having super bad problems with his body right now. But right now, he's healing up real good. I haven't over-exercised him on crawling or anything like that. No, that was wrong. Other than that, he's amazing, man. He's amazing. Okay, I'm gonna wind this bad boy in there. Come on, baby. Get started. Yeah. Wind the sucker up. Okay, just gonna wind it one more. So obviously on these, we gotta make sure, see how it's almost perfectly flat on the bottom, and then it's got the longer and then up kind of deal. That's to have clearance for the knuckle to move within that space, right? Yeah, so if you do this, make sure it's like that. Otherwise, you'll be locking up your steering and it'll be rubbing against stuff. Yeah. Oh, I lie. The wrong way. That's supposed to point down, Afro. Come on. We've never done this before. What's going on? There you go. Fixed it. Sweet. Mark Ross, do you have a recommendation tuning for running the BL Pro 4D with the DX1 Type R motor? Mr. Mark, I am gonna make a video. It's gonna be part of this video series here. As I build this, obviously I've got the motor in here already. It's also the DX1 Type T, not the R. But yes, I am gonna show you guys the difference between the Yokomo, the Toro or Sky RC. What else do I have that I can tune? Reedy. There's about 4 or 5 different ones that is fully tunable. And I have a drawer full of. So this whole drawer here is tuning cards, motor dyno, servo tester, different receivers, Castle Link, the Reedy, another Reedy, Hobby Wing, Yokomo, another Hobby Wing, the new Wi-Fi tune. What else, man? There's so many in here. The servo tuner, and there's some Sky RC stuff in here, and like there's Sky RC. That's the hand one. Then I have the Wi-Fi one. Here's a different type. Yeah, there's all kinds of crazy stuff in here. This is my tuning drawer. That's what that is there for. Yeah, Tim, you know what? I've been putting them on big people's build, and they've been outperforming the Yokomo. Seriously, like, no shit. By far. Way easier, just way less money, but still revs like a mother. Yeah. So yeah, Mark, we will be doing, as I go, I will be doing, you know, as I build this, I'm going to take you through every step of the way. You know, how do I set up the servo? How do I set up the gyro? How do I set up the motor and ESC? And what would I tune the ESC with the motor and. Yeah. So for sure. It won't happen all in one day. This is a step-by-step process. I'm only doing an hour a day. That way I can jump onto my other work, and yeah. Not that I work, I'm just saying that way I can go play with my toys. Yo, what's up? It's okay. Yeah. I guess I can throw these arms on real quick. So yeah, let's do that. Let's do the arms, the lower control arms. So, obviously you have these shafts or pins, and then these little balls, right? And you have 4 little shims, and then the arms, right? And the toe plate, and the shim for under the toe plate to raise it up from the chassis so you have more droop. And then the camber, the shock ball for the bottom of your arm. So all of this stuff here, including 2 gold ones, I won't be using these, but 2 gold to tighten this to the chassis plate, right? So here we go. This is pretty tricky. You got to be patient and yeah, just take your time. Right? So 1 arm here, 1 arm here. This guy's for the middle. 2 balls and a shaft, 2 shims, and a ball end for there. And then obviously the same for over here. So here we go. I'll try and swing these out of the way so you guys can kind of see. Yeah, I'll try and leave it like this somehow. Here, Mr. GoPro. You chill there. Obviously, the ball onto the shaft. Right? And then ball, shaft, arm, 2 shims, and the ball. So that's what you want right there. So let's throw that in the little receiving mouth here. Okay, so there, she can just chill there. Then, same this side. You're gonna go shaft, a ball. Oh, come on, go in there. Arm, 2 spacers, and the ball. And then I'll throw it into the receiving end over here. And let that show. Let me find the gold hardware that I need to put this sucker onto the chassis. 1, 2. So, there you go. There's that dude in place and everything's connected. I'll slowly start the screw, right? But still leave enough gap so I can slide that little 1 millimeter shim plate under the toe block. Okay, so just being stubborn. There she goes. So, you know, people would knock on my door before I open the store while I'm trying to do live streams. Oh, it's actually a delivery. Hang on, boys. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry. I apologize. Sorry. What's the use of the shim? The shim actually raises the arms off the chassis so that you can have more droop. So the arm can actually go further down, right? So you can have more movement within the chassis. And it's always a good feeling getting a package, yeah. Thanks, Gil. Yo, Sam, what's up? So Sam Carmel is actually the owner of this beautiful vehicle that I'm building right now. There you go, tighten that all nice. Because we won't need to do any of that. I'll make sure these guys are all nice. Yeah, this is all sexy. Alrighty. Lower control arm. Top control arm. Toe linkage. Or steering link. Right? There you go. Whole bunch of arms. Very sexy, very sexy. Yeah. But yeah, let's say, if I go back to that question, see how much more this point is lower than where the the chassis is? If this point here was straight to the chassis, it couldn't do that as far as it's doing it, right? So we want as much movement in here, especially if we're at neutral, we want this, so that we can still keep our tires on the ground. Nope, you can't see the wheels. Right. So that's the whole front end pretty much done. I mean, there's only one more thing that goes on here, and that would be your front bumper and where you mount the body pins. But this car here will be on magnets, so we won't be mounting stuff on there. Okay, now we can do the steering knuckle. Nope, that's the back one. Front ones. Those guys. Come on. And those guys. Okay. Obviously, it's got bearings in the carrier. I've got another question. I'm using this on polished concrete like I showed you, but would this work well on hardwood floor? Hardwood floor and polished concrete would be the same type of surface. So it doesn't matter what surface you're driving on, it'll work. I don't set it up just specifically for one surface because there's no way that we'll drive. Well, if you have a local track, sure, then yeah, you would drive that surface mostly, but even that track eventually would change the surface, or they would add another track, and so on, right? So, yeah. Yes, it will work. Yes, yes, and yes. Okay, off this little sprue here. Obviously your steering knuckle and this steering knuckle. I'm just gonna cut the mold, the little sprue tree markings off it because I don't like it. That's just the OCD situation there. Okay. Bearings, both sides, spindle, drops right in, right? Then in this little baggie that has the wheel nuts and all the ball ends and stuff, you pour that sucker out. And that has the little pin right there. It pops in here. Right, then obviously the front has the wider hex, which is 8mm, which gives you a nice offset so that your front can be large and in charge. And yeah, you lock that sucker in place until that little gap shuts itself a little bit and you can't pull it off, then it's good. Right? Now, we would throw the little ball ends onto it. Right? The top one will be the smaller one and the bottom one will be the bigger one. Whoa, what the hell? There you go. The rad thing about these SX carriers, these two holes here, you can buy the Yokomo disc brake package. So they have a replacement for this, that's a disc, and this little spot here is for the caliper to screw onto. And it'll have the disc rotate within the caliper. It's pretty dope. It looks super fire. But yeah, that's only if you want to have hyper-realistic stuff going on. When you have time to look at it instead of drive it. That kind of thing. And then, on the steering, you throw also a small ball, right? And you throw it, whatever, like, it doesn't matter what kind of vehicle you're driving, you're trying to have this pivot and that pivot for your steering to be in line with one another, as close as you can get it, right? So that's what I used to do. I used to cut my arms off and then make a hole in line with it. But then I always had the problem with over-centering and stuff. Yes, Tim, I would. Most definitely I would. Nope, not the small one. How small is that thing? Weird. So it's not the small. This happens every time I build these fucking things, man. So, rewind all the crap I just said. It's supposed to be big ball ends on the steering knuckle or the carrier. The small ones are for something totally different. Dumbass. Anyway, so here we go. Big balls on the front carrier. Yeah, Tim, if you want to talk about this more, you can hit me up on afroshobbyshop@gmail.com. Okay. Now, time to pop everything on. Oh, you bitch ass. This is the hard part right here. There you go. There you go. Woo-hoo. One and done. Now just the other side real quick. And then I'm going to have to bail. So. Yeah, the brake discs really look dope. Like, especially within photos or in videos, like seeing it slowly rotate while you're hucking it into a corner, it looks ridiculous. Yeah, dope, Tim, let's do it. Let me build you something stupid. Okay. Don't make the mistake again, Afro, come on. So obviously, big ball ends all around. No, that's a small one, dumbass. Oh, come on. Okay. Yeah. Holy shit. There you go. Okay. There's the front end. Right? Super sexy. So this one's over-centering already, but I haven't got shocks in it. It doesn't have the wheels on it, and it's not sitting on the floor. Yeah, but there you go. That's the front end, all sexified, All black and gold everywhere. Yeah, pretty cool. Alrighty, boys. I think I'm gonna have to bail. Yeah. Thanks everybody for being on here, man. And I'll speak to you guys soon. You don't use the steering pins. If you have the toe and all that stuff set up properly, you don't need them. But yes, I do use the steering pins on custom builds. But on my car, I don't have it. Yeah. Alright, gangsters. Thanks for hanging out. Tim, Bifu, Sam, Midnight. Man, there was, I don't know how many people. Oh, I almost tried to touch screen my big screen. But anyway, all you guys, thanks for all the likes. Thanks for hanging out. I do appreciate it. I will be on tomorrow morning, the same time. So if you want to come hang out and see me go further with this bad boy, let's do it. Let's hang out. Yeah, man. I'm just going to go play now, that's all. Anyway. I'm out. Peace. Have a good day. Fuck everybody.